Hello. Welcome to an introduction of what we call animation ReCentering. To sequence two animations together, the first animation must start at the beginning but may end in the middle. However, the second animation must start at its beginning. Here, we see an animation that begins at its center point, which is the pink pose ball. While here, we see an example of the same animation that begins offset to its center point. This is about 11 seconds into dance number 1. I will piece this endpoint to the beginning of dance number 2. I chose this endpoint because it closely matches the beginning of dance number 2. But this dance number 1 endpoint is off-center. It will cause a noticeable jump because the second animation begins at its own center point. So, I would normally avoid using a match point like this, but with the Artiste Sit2Sit, which enables animation ReCentering, I don't have to anymore. What if one match point is at center point, and the other one is off-center, and it's what we want? Meaning, we want to match them together, without the jump. I was told by two different people that it couldn't be done. An overhead view makes the gap jump apparent. Here we are at the 3 meters mark, using the left side measurement, at about the third circle. Another overhead view, this time of dance number 2. We see it starts in the first circle, 3 meters away from where we want to match dance number 1. Here, we see the jump in actual practice, both from a head-on perspective, and also from an overhead view. The Sit2Sit solution involves using two palettes, green number 1 and red number 2, under the control and mastery of the Artiste Performance HUD. We instruct the avatar to switch palettes at just the right time, in this case, with 1/100th of a second precision. This allows us to recenter the start point of dance number 2 at the end point of dance number 1. There is compensation added to the green palette, dance number 1, for an extra movement. We slowly move the avatar, while they are on dance number 2, back to the original start point and center point of dance number 1, just to stay center stage, though we didn't have to. We could have accomplished it with another clever Sit2Sit to yet a third dance. This chart illustrates our choices for dance number 1, start and end points, and dance number 2 start points. Up until now, either you had to match an offset at dance number 1 end point, with an offset starting point of dance number 2. The more likely scenario is that you had to match a center crossing end point of dance number 1, with a starting point that was a center point of dance number 2. Now, that is no longer the case. I'd like to introduce you to our offering of a solution to starting an animation in the middle. Using our masterpiece product, included in our Artiste suite, that will be demonstrated soon, we can expand our choices of piecing dance segments together by an order of magnitude. While our Peacemaker product, also part of our Artiste suite, can be used to find a match point between any two dance animations, Masterpiece lets you join those matched pairs into a longer, show-worthy sequence of animations. I bring this up here now because by combining Sit2Sit with our masterpiece, you are no longer limited to finding only dance segments with matching offsets or matching center points. You especially have the freedom to start anywhere inside of the second animation. Animations are no longer limited even to the way they face. Any segment in any animation matchable to any segment in any other animation. Now the sky is the limit. But just don't get carried away as there are some resource trade-offs. Use these expansive features economically.